Yo, it's your boy Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Thursday, June 5th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Baltimore Orioles versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Thursday, everyone. And on the thumb on the left, shortstop stud Gunnar Henderson. And on the right, our ace on the mound, Brian Woo. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for the visiting Baltimore Orioles. Leading off for the Orioles at second base, Jackson Holliday. Batting second, DHing for Baltimore, Adley Rutschman. Batting third, shortstop today, Gunnar Henderson. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Ryan O'Hearn. Batting fifth, playing left field, Dylan Carlson. Batting sixth, playing right field, Heston Kjerstad. Batting seventh, playing third base, Emmanuel Rivera. Batting eighth, playing center field, Jorge Mateo. And batting ninth, catching today, Maverick Hanley. On the mound for the Orioles with a 4-2 record, an ERA of 4.46, Zach Eflin. And now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, DHing today for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting third, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for Seattle, big dumper Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, playing first base, Rowdy Tellez. Batting seventh, playing right field, Leody Taveras. Batting eighth, playing third base, Miles Mastrobuoni. And batting ninth, playing second base, Cole Young. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 5-2 record, an ERA of 2.82, it is Brian Woo. And we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 or more overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. All day in the building. What's good? Let's go, M's. Tridents up. And again, hasn't gone the way that we expected. The Mariners have not been the same team in the last 30 games compared to the first 30. I was going through the stat lines and the analytics and the stats, and it's a little frightening on how much of a drop-off that we've had in the last 30 games compared to the first 30. I'm going to go over the stats here in just a second, but hopefully we can get back on track. That is big fact. Captain in the building, what's good? But obviously starting off game number one, losing 5-1 when we were down 3-1 in the ninth, and they brought in Colin Snyder, you knew that we weren't coming back. That's just plain and simple. Yesterday, we ended up losing 3-2. We should have won 2-1. And again, it's about bringing in the right guy at the right time. But when you don't have a good bullpen and you only have a couple guys out of 8 or 9 that can get it done, Matt Brash, Gabe Spire, maybe Jackson Kowar, and that's it. And if you have anybody else come in, Fazzardo, Vargas, Trent Thornton, Colin Snyder, Legumina, they're just untrustworthy. And, for Vargas to come in and give up that triple that ended up scoring 2 when we were ahead 2-1, that was just the icing on the cake for Baltimore, and we cannot have that here today. Now, we know and understand that Zach Eflin is a good pitcher. He's got a good record like Brian Wu. 4-2, 4.46 ERA. Brian a little bit more dominant, 5-2, 2.82 ERA, a lower whip, more innings pitched, and obviously more punch-outs, per 9 innings average. But again, hopefully we can get it done today. We're going to need it all day in the building. Captain in the building. Let's get it. But to go over the stats, just to, make people understand how things were in the first 30 games for the Mariners when we were, a top 5 hitting team, to now we're, one of the bottom 10. And again, we need to turn it around. We've lost 6 out of the last 9 games. That needs to turn around as well. Mariners' first 30 games. Runs, 138. That was 5th in MLB. Base on ball percentage, 11.3%. That was 1st in MLB. OBP, 345. That was 1st in MLB. Slugging, 427. 6th in MLB. And OPS overall, 773 as a team. That was 5th in MLB. So in 5 statistics, you had top 6 categories, and 2 number ones, 2 obviously at 5 and 1 at 6. Last 30 games for the Mariners, runs 114, 21st. Base on ball percentage 7.7, 21st. OBP 298, 27th. Slugging 370, 22nd. And OPS 667, 25th. So not good. We got to be able to not only hit. Starting pitching has been good, but the hitting has disappeared and the bullpen has been horrible. So we have to find a way to get back on track with hitting, especially if the bullpen is going to be an issue in 2025. Starting pitching has been phenomenal, but the hits need to be there. We need home runs, we need hits, we need RBIs, we need bunts, we need walks, and we need to be able to steal some bags. And hopefully we get a little bit of that here today. Let's go, baby. Brian Wu on the mound, and hopefully he's going to wheel and deal and give us that electricity that we know that he can give us on every given outing. And leading off here for the Orioles, second baseman Jackson Holliday. Let's go, Mariners. Try dance up. First pitch, takes a strike, looking low and away with the four-seam fastball. 96 miles an hour by Wu. 0-1 count. Let's go, Brian. We're going to need a solid outing. Wu on the mound. Jackson Holliday in the box. Adley Rushman on deck. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. Behind in the count, 0-2 for Jackson Holliday. Good start here for Brian Wu. Let's get it, baby. Hope you're having a good day all day, and Captain. And again, I know a little bit of an early start most of the time when the Mariners play, as that pitch is fouled off, four-seam fastball right down the middle. It's usually around 1:10 Pacific. Today, 12:40 Pacific, which is a little odd, but hopefully it won't affect the Mariners here today. Lauren in the building, Trident's up. Let's get this win and not get swept. We have to turn it around. After being a top 5 hitting team in the first 30 games, being a bottom 10 hitting team, not acceptable. And the bullpen not good either. So something's got to give. Jordan in the building, our biggest Reds fan in the building. Jordan, how are you? Hope things are going well with you. I did hear about Ellie losing a family member and whatnot, and still going out there and playing. What a dog, what a G. And I hope things start to get better for your Cincinnati Reds. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees, four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Brian Wu to Jackson Holliday. Top of the first, nobody on, nobody out, and hopefully we can find a way to, get a little bit of momentum, but it all starts here today. And then we end up, having obviously a nice little 3-game set against the Angels, and hopefully we don't play down to the competition, which is something that the Mariners have done in these last 30 games. We can play up when we play the good teams, like the Yankees and the Dodgers, but we have to have a mindset that every series, we have to, kind of pretend that we're playing those type of teams. Because if you play down to the competition, they punch you in the mouth early, you may not recover. 1-2 pitch, Holiday grounds out to JP, throw to first, 1 away. Next up, DHing Adley Rushman. And bottom line, the Mariners can't afford to score 1 to 3 runs, and that's what we've been doing the last 30 games. We have to get to that 4 to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And even sometimes 4 to 5 runs isn't enough, but most of the time, if you can hit that number, you're going to have like a 70% chance, to win the matchup. If you get 1 to 3 runs, you're probably going to have a 10% chance of winning. It's hard to win when you only score a couple throughout a 9-inning game, or if it goes into extras and you're only at 1, 2, or 3. Top of the first inning, 0-0. We need a solid outing here out of Bryan Woo, and I believe we're going to get it here today. First pitch to Adley Rutschman. His homecoming here being from the Pacific Northwest, and right past the third baseman today. If that was Ben Williamson, maybe he gets that, but that's Miles Mastrobuoni out there at third. You got to be better. Nice base knock by Adley, the former first pick from the Oregon State Beavers. Next up, shortstop in the 3-hole, Gunnar Henderson. First pitch to Gunnar, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 1-0 count. And again, I'm not really concerned about starting pitching. I'm concerned, about the bullpen and the hitting overall, and also getting back to basics, stealing bags. We haven't been bunting at all. We haven't been plunked nearly as often as we need to. I don't want our guys to get hurt, but again, we need to steal bags, but you can't steal bags if nobody can get on base. You have to think outside the box. And again, it's hard to be able to check off all the boxes to be a good pitching team, a good hitting team, and also have a good bullpen. And it seems like the Mariners only can max out 2 out of 3. And right now we're only at 1 out of 3. Let's make sure we're not at 0 out of 3 after today. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike swinging, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Woo to Henderson. And we need a double play, slow dribbler right up the middle for Gunnar to JP, throw to Rowdy, and we get out of this inning. 257 average, 7 homers, 15 ribbies for Gunnar Henderson in 2025. Let's go, baby. Hopefully we get a few RBIs today and a couple home runs. And I know that the pitching matchup is going to be tough with Eflin and Woo, but it can be done. And Henderson popped out to third. Miles Mastrobuoni is there filling in for Ben Williamson. 2 away. Next up, a guy that has been on a heater, even though this team is below 500 and has been a disappointment in 2025 with no Anthony Santander and Corbin Burns. This guy's been a stud. First baseman Ryan O'Hearn. First pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone. 97, 87 miles an hour with that slider by Woo. 0-1 count. Let's go, Brian. 0-1 pitch. Low and inside at the knees, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and 2 outs. Woo on the mound, O'Hearn in the box. We're at 11, 9 more to go to be able to get to 20. Let's get there. 50 likes will be the goal or more, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Woo to Ryan O'Hearn. How are the injuries going for the Reds, Jordan? A lot of the guys still kind of beat up. Have you guys got anybody back recently that was injured at the beginning of the year? Mariners are beat up as well. In play, and O'Hearn keeps the hot streak going. Singles to right, Rutschman to second. Now you got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Next up is Dylan Carlson. And we should be able to get Dylan out. I already knew, with Holiday, Rutschman, Henderson, and O'Hearn, that's a tough, starting 4. Even though their record doesn't show it. But again, they have been getting hot as of late. And unfortunately, the Mariners are the team that they're beating up on. Top of the first, runners now at first and second. We got to get Carlson out here. We don't want to give up a run or 2 with Bryan Woo, our number 1 pitcher on the Mariners staff. But again, Emerson Hancock, much better. Logan Evans needs a call up from AAA. Luis Castillo has been pitching good for us this year. And again, Logan Gilbert will be back in about a week. So again, really the only liabilities for the Mariners are going to be Bryce Miller and George Kirby, but hopefully, as time progresses, they'll get better. First pitch to Dylan Carlson, takes a strike looking, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Woo, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, Big swing and a miss. Tries to jam the hitter high and tight inside with that four-seam fastball. 95 miles an hour behind in the count 0-2. Here we go, baby. One more strike and we can get out of this inning. Let's go, Woo. And there it is. Big swing and a miss. High and away. Brian Woo wheeling and dealing. I had a feeling that we'd get Carlson out, and we did. Nice job, Brian Woo. You leave two stranded, and you did your job. That's the dude. That's the guy. That's Brian Woo. Nice job, baby. Now let's go and see who's up next here for your Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And we need JP to get a hit, in his first two at-bats, at least, either this one or the next one, because he sets the tone. And again, when you get a hit at the first batter, it definitely puts the pressure on not only Eflin, but the rest of the team. Batting second, DHing today, Jorge Polanco, a guy that's been pretty ice cold. We need you to heat up. And batting third, a guy that has been magnificent, has been holding it down for the Mariners. Really, the guys that have been holding it down in the last 10 games have been JP, Julio, Cal, and Miles Mastrobuoni in limited action. We need others to step up, and hopefully Julio can grab that trident and raise it tall, because we're going to need some homers and some RBIs today. Let's go, Julio Rodriguez. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, I saw that right before I went on stream. I mean, he's old, and again, it's not like that's going to be someone that's going to lead that team to the playoffs. Now, it does give you someone with experience, and there's going to be some highs and there's going to be some lows, but at his age, again, he's not Tom Brady. He's not going to give you what Tom did at that age when you get over 40. Now, is he going to be better than what they currently have in Pittsburgh? Yeah, but again, I wouldn't really be expecting too much, and we'll see how Steeler fans adjust. It's only a one-year deal, but I don't really expect a whole lot from Aaron Rodgers. Offense has been cold. How's the pitching been doing for the Reds? Bottom of the first inning, we're knotted up at 0. Leading off here will be J.P. Crawford. Let's go, JP. I need you on base, my guy. You got to be the front man to start it all. And normally that's going to be either you or Victor Robles, and it's very important to have a good leadoff hitter. Think back when we had Ichiro Suzuki and how many games we were able to win with him just getting a hit after, that first at-bat or that second at-bat and setting the tone. First pitch, inside for a strike, called ball to J.P. Crawford. 1-0 pitch, and in play, and lined out to left, 1 away. Down goes JP. Hopefully he'll be able to get at his second at-bat. Next up for the Mariners, DHing Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. Wake up, my guy. First pitch, low and at the knees with the curveball, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Eflin to Polo. And again, I don't know if this is going to be a pitching duel, which it kind of looks like based off paper stats it will be. We may have to wait until the 7th, 8th, and 9th, but hopefully we can get 1 to 3 runs on Eflin. That's going to give us a good chance to win. If we don't, it might end up being a sprint in those last 3 innings where we may be down 1, 2, or 3, and we may or may not come back. Again, this is not the same Mariner team in the first 30 games when we were a top 5 hitting team. We're a bottom 10 hitting team in the last 30. That needs to change. 2-0 pitch, in play. Here we go, Polo. Go, 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 go. And Polo with a double. There we go. About damn time. JP doesn't get a hit, but if he would, that might have been the RBI double that we would have needed, but it's okay. Nice job by Polo getting on base with a double. Next up, Julio Rodriguez. On deck, Cal Raleigh. This could be the inning where we get at least a run, and that would be great for us Mariner fans. We don't want to get swept here. First pitch, inside at the knees to Julio with the sinker, 1-0 count. Appreciate the updates. I always like to be able to hear from true fans how their team is doing. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Eflin to Julio. Let's go, M's. Trident's up. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Eflin to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. You've been absolutely fantastic in May and coming into June. Your batting average is still a little lower than expected, 248. You got 10 homers. But remember, Julio only had 20 last year. So again, this is an opportunity where Julio can get to that 30 home run number before the season is up. And he definitely has the talent to be a 30-30 guy every year or a 40-40 guy. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Julio Rodriguez, which is rare with a strikeout nowadays. 2 away. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Let's see if we can get an RBI here or a home run. Trident's up and take an early 1-0 or 2-0 lead. I get it. It's going to be tough against Eflin, but it's not impossible. Trident's up. Let's go, Cal. And we got Cal batting from the left side rather than the right side. So if we are going to get a home run from Cal, obviously kind of tough in those first couple games against Baltimore. But today it could happen, whether it be against Eflin or a reliever. First pitch takes a strike swinging, low in the zone with a curve. 77 miles an hour by Zach Eflin, 0-1 count. And Eflin is crafty. You know, he is one of their better pitchers for the Baltimore Orioles since they don't have Corbin Burns. So, again, you know, he's going to wheel and deal and try to get guys to chase. And we have to be patient in the box. Bottom of the first inning, runner at second, Polo, which is surprising with 2 outs. Let's see if we can knock him in. We're at 10. 10 more to go to hit the goal in the first hour. Let's get it, baby. Are you all completed moving, Captain? Did you get all your stuff settled in, or are you still kind of in the process of finishing up? Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 Orioles and Mariners. Orioles winning the first 2 games in the series. They're looking for the brooms and the Harry Potter sweep. And the Mariners are just trying to tread water with our best pitcher on the mound, and we need the bats to come alive. Jacob in the building. What's good? They had a little meeting there with the trainer and the ump, or the catcher there. And 0-1 pitch in play. And Cal doesn't homer, but gets it deep into left field. And that's the end of the first inning. I don't like leaving guys stranded, but, you know, it's nice to see that at least Polo got a double. I didn't know if that was in his repertoire anymore. 264 average, 23 homers for Cal. Just wasn't able to connect on that particular pitch by Eflin. All the way back to the wall. And again, a lucky catch out there in left field by Dylan Carlson that could have ended up bringing Polo home. All right, let's go to the top of the second inning and see who we have up next here for the Baltimore Orioles. Next up for the Orioles, right fielder, the individual that had that triple that brought in the 2 runs on Carlos Vargas, Heston Kjerstad. Batting second, third baseman Emmanuel Rivera. And batting third, center fielder Jorge Mateo. Let's go Mariners. Yeah, and at one point or another, you know, the Steelers will find, you know, their new Big Ben. And at some point, you know, Tomlin will end up getting let go and they'll find someone else. There's no guarantee that the new guy after Tomlin will be better than him. More than likely, he'll be worse. But, you know, you might be able to get, you know, your future franchise quarterback after Tomlin. And again, it makes you really appreciate, you know, the good quarterbacks that you have when you have them. Because just because, you know, you have a Big Ben doesn't mean you're going to get another one right away. And it really does make you appreciate, you know, the good seasons that you have with those type of quarterbacks. You know, Big Bens don't grow on trees. And I think Steeler fans are finally realizing that, you know, 10, 15 years later, you know, how blessed they were when they did have Big Ben, as well as Bill Cowher. And I think Tomlin is a good coach. You know, if for whatever reason Todd Bowles got fired and Tomlin got fired, I would take Tomlin in Tampa. I think it would be the perfect fit. Again, he does have history here. 0-1 pitch, in play, and flied out to center. Julio is there. Down goes Kjerstad, 1 away. Next up for the Orioles, third baseman Emmanuel Rivera. Let's go, Woo. Keep it going, baby. Wheel and deal. Bring that electricity, Brian. 5-2 record, 2.82 ERA. First pitch to Rivera. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. Sinker, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Logan Gilbert should be back in about a week. Again, if he doesn't have any setbacks, which I have been following the rehab assignment pretty closely. Things look pretty good. We know Bryce Miller and George Kirby have looked terrible since they have come back. But again, Logan Gilbert is in a different kind of level, than those guys. Kirby pretty close to Gilbert, but again, we need to be able to have solid starting pitching. But more importantly, we need the hits to start coming back, as well as the bullpen at some point getting better. And we're going to be obviously movers and buyers at the deadline. We need a couple guys in the pen, I would say at least 2, to replace all the shitty ones, and at least a couple hitters, as well as bringing up Harry Ford. 0-2 pitch, in play, Rivera, grounds out to second, throw to first, 2 away. Appreciate you, Brendan. Next up, center fielder, Jorge Mateo. I think an honest evaluation, that's not going to be a homer evaluation. Obviously, we saw what he did, with Michigan and, winning a natty. But I don't think anybody really knows how good or bad he's going to be. And obviously, having the injury, you have a lot of good supporting cast surrounding him. The matter of fact is, as long as he doesn't turn over the football, he may end up being above average. But we don't really know how good he's going to be. I mean, is he going to lead this team to a 10-7 record? Is he going to be an 8-9 quarterback and just miss the playoffs? Or is he going to excel and end up being better than anyone anticipated and then winning 11 or 12 games? I mean, we really don't know. Now, obviously, the defense is very good. Offensive line started to gel. They have a good supporting cast at running back, wide receiver, and tight end. So, again, we don't really know, and I think that's a fair evaluation. Again, I think some fans on the outside looking in think that he won't be that good, but you can't really say that until you see them out there in action. And we get, obviously, the last batter out. There we go, baby. That's what I like to see. Down goes Mateo, and that is the end of the second inning for the O's. See who's up next here in the bottom of the second inning for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. And batting third, right fielder Leody Taveras. Appreciate you too. One thing is for sure, Sam Darnold will not have the same type of success in Seattle than he did in Minnesota. Again, he took advantage of a good situation, there in Minnesota, and then ended up getting the deal to go to Seattle. But again, with no Lockett, no DK, offensive line still rebuilding, defense still in a work in progress. It wouldn't really shock me if the Seahawks, miss the playoffs and go 8-9 or 9-8. Depending on if they have serious injuries, it could be, even as low as 7 games and going like 7-10. Now, is there a possibility that they overachieve and hit 10 wins and go 10-7? Yeah, but there would have to be a lot of things that would have to happen for that to happen. Rams would have to have a bunch of injuries. Niners would have to have a bunch of injuries, and then the Hawks would have to take advantage. But again, at this particular situation, is McCarthy going to be better than what Sam was last year? Probably not, but again, if he just doesn't turn over the football, doesn't fumble, doesn't throw a lot of picks, plays within himself, he might be good enough, to get the Vikings to a playoff spot. But we know the NFC North is pretty competitive, and we'll have to kind of wait and see. especially with the Lions and the Packers right there with Minnesota. And we don't really know how good Chicago's going to be. They're still the bottom feeder, but you assume that they'll slightly get better, obviously with Caleb Williams in year number 2. First pitch to Randy Arozarena, taking a strike looking, 0-1 count. I'm not biased. I call it right down the middle. Again, you get a lot of other channels and a lot of other people that have their own opinions based on whatever the narrative is, as Randy Arozarena strikes out swinging on that 0-2 pitch, 1 away. But again, I feel like the national narrative is that McCarthy sucks. I think that's what the national narrative is. But you can't say that he sucks if he hasn't fucking played yet. He ended up having the season-ending injury. We don't know if he sucks or if he's good. So, we'll have to wait and see. Next up, first pitch to Rowdy Tellez, low and away with the curveball, 78 miles an hour by Eflin, 1-0 count. I mean, really, what you have to be excited about is that even if McCarthy doesn't work, you have pretty much all the pieces to be a good team, besides, if the quarterback situation doesn't work and you keep building the O-line. You already got running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, a great defense, a good coach. So it's not like you guys have a lot of holes like Seattle with Sam Darnold coming in, right? You guys have a competitive team. The only problem is that you have to play the Packers and the Lions, 2 times a year in that particular division. So it's kind of a log jam with those 3 teams. 2-2 pitch, takes a strike looking, 3 balls and 2 strikes from Eflin to Rowdy. Now, that's why I feel, compared to a lot of others that, do YouTube or, some type of social media, there's always a narrative and there's always a bias, but regardless if it's my team or someone else's team, you're never going to find an analysis or breakdown that is unbiased. Like myself, I feel like, most people, are going to have this type of narrative that they either hear from someone else or they see someone else saying it and they just kind of hop on the bandwagon. Oh, McCarthy sucks. Yeah, I think he sucks too. He hasn't even played, so we have to wait and see. And Rowdy Tellez on the 3-2 pitch, singles to left. There we go. Nice job by Rowdy. I love it. Let's go. Bottom of the second inning with 1 out, Rowdy at first. Next up is Leody Taveras. And I think a lot of it comes from, he didn't really throw the ball a whole lot for Michigan, right? When Michigan won the Natty, what did they do? They pounded the rock and played amazing defense with Harbaugh. So I think that's part of it where they, but again, just because he didn't throw it a lot doesn't mean that he can't. We have to wait and see. Bottom of the second inning, runner at first with 1 out. Eflin on the mound, Taveras in the box. First pitch to Leody, high and away with the cutter, 1-0 count. Yeah, I got Rams winning the division as well. Niners obviously have a little bit of a rebuilding process, but even with that being said, even with guys that they've lost on offense and defense, they should still be better than Seattle and Arizona. Just being honest and real. So, and obviously you don't really know who's going to win, but you got to assume the Lions are the front runner. Packers and Vikings might be battling it out for a spot, but if the Lions have any injuries, the Vikings or Packers could get the top spot. It's just kind of a wait and see approach. Tampa should win the NFC South. And I know Atlanta will be much better than they were. Saints and Panthers at the bottom of the division. Atlanta leapfrogging Nolans. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. And then obviously the Eagles will be the best team in that particular division in the NFC East. 3-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike from Eflin to Leody. But remember, you always have 1 or 2 teams in the AFC and the NFC that go from worst to first or third to first. So it always happens. You can't always bank on, the team was good last year, they're going to be great this year. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes, injuries happen and teams regress. And also, sometimes teams are ahead of schedule and they end up going to the playoffs maybe a year or 2 early. And Taveras singles to center. There we go. Back-to-back hits. I like that. That's a rarity for the Seattle Mariners lately in the last 30 games. Rowdy with a single, Leody with a single, and one of the top 4 guys in the last 10 games is actually Miles Mastrobuoni. It's Miles, JP, Julio, and Cal. Those guys have been hot lately in the last 10 games, even though Miles doesn't play every day. Let's see if Miles can end up getting an RBI here for Zach Eflin. First pitch, low and away with the changeup, 1-0 count to Miles Mastrobuoni. Let's go, Miles. Yeah, I mean, even though you're a Vikings fan, no one is going to be grabbing J.J. McCarthy. You wouldn't even necessarily need to draft him. You could actually go for another quarterback as your starter and then just have like McCarthy as like your reserve backup quarterback. Then if he ends up being great, you can move him into the starting spot, but you don't want to waste, one of your picks early, on a guy like that because nobody's going to draft him. So if you draft him because you're a Viking fan, again, then you're going to be playing into the hands of everyone else in the league. You want to make sure you're trying to grab someone that's better and then just have him as, kind of a sleeper pick, late, where no one is going to pick him. And then you just throw him on your bench. He plays well, great. If he doesn't, then you can always get rid of him or just keep him on your bench. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle with that sinker by Eflin. 1 ball and 1 strike to Miles Mastrobuoni. Six more likes to 20. Let's get there. 1-1 pitch. And fielder's choice. Mastrobuoni grounds out to the shortstop. Tavares out at second. Tellez at third. Now we have runners at first and third with 2 outs for Cole Young. Come on, Cole. It's a Cole world, baby. We need you to heat up. Let's go, Cole. Let's get an RBI here. We don't even need to talk about home runs with Cole Young. We just need an RBI single right here to get it to 1-0. Come on, Cole. Yeah, and you don't have to pray if JJ is going to be there late. He will be there late. You will be able to snag him, in one of the last, 3 or 4 picks, in your draft for sure. The only people that would be drafting him early are Vikings fans, just, hoping for the best. But if he ends up getting injured or busting, you don't want to have that as your first quarterback off the board. First pitch on the line, high and away with the cutter, 89 miles an hour, 0-1 count. I mean, I always try to think, things through from every team's, fans' perspective. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away with that 4-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour by Eflin, behind the count 0-2 to Cole Young. Come on, Cole. Let's go, baby. Gabriel in the building. What's good, brother? And big swing and a miss. Down goes Cole Young, and we leave it stranded. End of the second inning, 0-0, Orioles and Mariners. And again, if this isn't a sign that we need to call up Harry Ford, again, when you're a top 5 hitting team in the first 30 games and a bottom 10 hitting team in the next 30 games, you have to start making moves. And again, bullpen isn't helping us out whatsoever. Call up Harry Ford already, damn it. See who's up next here for the Baltimore Orioles. Next up for the Orioles in the 9-hole, catcher Maverick Hanley. Batting second baseman Jackson Holiday, 0 for 1. And batting third, 1 for 1, DHing today, Adley Rushman. Let's go Mariners. First pitch from Brian Wu to Maverick Hanley. In there, takes a strike, looking, four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Top of the third inning, we're knotted up at 0. Mariners have been able to get a couple hits early on, 3, but we haven't been able to cash in and bring anybody home early. Let's go, Brian. Keep wheeling and dealing. And in a game like this, we may need Brian to go 7 innings. You know, again, with the bullpen being so bad, 6 innings is normally the standard, but, you know, we may have to try to have him go 7. You know, so that way that you can bring in like a Brash, you know, or a Gabe Spire or a Jackson Kowar in the 8th, and then hopefully Munoz in the 9th if we're ahead. But, you know, starting pitching has to go longer now, just for the simple fact that the bullpen has been so ass. 0-2 pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. It's knotted up at 0 here in the top of the third. Six more likes at 20. Let's get there. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Hanley. Come on, Brian. Three-two pitch, right down the middle, fouled off. Brian Wu. Count still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Wu on the mound, Maverick Hanley in the box. And that is ball 4. A pretty rare walk there for Brian Wu. And now next up, second baseman Jackson Holliday. We need a slow dribbler right up the middle to JP, a throw to Rowdy, and that way we can get a nice double play and, again, be on our way with only 1 more out to get out of this inning in the third. Falcons will be better than the Saints, and the Panthers. And there's a chance that the Panthers actually might get 3rd place. Saints might be in last place in that division, depending on what happens with their personnel, injuries, and their coaching. But Atlanta, should be able to duke it out with Tampa. But if you're looking at the roster top to bottom, Tampa should be able to win the division as long as they don't have any serious injuries to Baker Mayfield or their top guys and win it 5 years in a row. Bay. First pitch, Jackson Holliday, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, and lined out to J.P. Crawford. There we go. Good defense by J.P. 1 away. Next up, 1 for 1, DHing Adley Rushman. First pitch, takes a strike looking outside of the zone, 0-1 count from Wu to Rushman. You can always count on JP on making some good defensive plays. Top of the third inning, runner at first with 1 out. We still need a double play, but Rushman is, one of the better catcher/DHing individuals in baseball. And again, Cal Raleigh has surpassed him, obviously, in 2025. But Adley is still a very solid cornerstone piece for the Baltimore Orioles. 0-1 pitch, fouls it off right down the middle off Wu. 95 miles an hour with that four-seam fastball that Wu loves to wheel and deal. Behind in the count, 0-2 for Rushman. Oh-2 pitch, low and away with the slider, 89 miles an hour by Brian Wu. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wu to Rushman. Get this double play. Let's go, baby. And we still need that magic number, 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. If we get that, we'll have a pretty good chance. If we only get 1 to 3 runs, we're going to get swept today. We have to get more. 1-2 pitch, wild by Wu, and Hanley advances to second. Come on, Brian. We had one wild pitch yesterday from Emerson Hancock to Garver, but it was more on Garver not moving his mitt quick enough. But you're not going to see too many wild pitches out of Brian Wu. Got to contain that. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Rushman. Monkey in the building. What's good, brother? Top of the third inning, runner at second. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to one of the best players on the Baltimore Orioles, Adley Rushman from the Oregon State Beavers, former first pick in the draft. He's breathing that Pacific Northwest air, and he's coming home. And obviously he's playing like he's home. But we have to find a way to limit the damage with Adley in this series. Rushman. And flied out to Julio. 2 away. Next up, shortstop 0 for 1, Gunnar Henderson. Let's go, Adams. Let's go, Wu. First pitch from Wu to Gunnar. Takes a strike, looking low and away, painting that corner beautifully. Slider, 89 miles an hour by Brian. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. Behind in the count now, 0-2. One more strike and we're out of this inning. And then we can get into the bottom of the third and see if we can actually put up a run. All right, there we go. We hit 20, 30 more to go to get before the stream ends. Appreciate you, Captain. You always do a great job. Top of the third inning, runner at third with 2 outs. Wu on the mound, Henderson in the box. But obviously it shows you, we got guys, in the farm that we can call up like Harry Ford or Tyler Locklear. Those would be the main guys to be looking at, especially Harry. But again, we got to make at least 4 moves at the deadline. 2 bullpen guys, and then maybe a first baseman and a right fielder. Just bats that we can actually, people that could possibly produce for us, even though we're going to be getting Luke Raley back shortly and Logan Gilbert. And wild pitch, another wild pitch by Wu, and Hanley scores off the wild pitch. Unbelievable. 2 wild pitches out of Brian Wu, and the runner from third comes home, and we're down 1-0. Not ideal. Now, again, we want to make sure Brian gives up 3 runs or less, but I never would have predicted that he would have given up a run based off a wild pitch. Come on, Brian. And literally, Hanley walks in at home. Unbelievable. Very uncharacteristic by Brian Wu. And we can't afford for our starting pitching to go down the shitter. That's the only good thing that we have left with the Mariners in these last 30 games. We can't hit. We can't get RBIs. We can't fucking get home runs. We can't get stolen bags. We're not bunting. Our bullpen is ass. We need to be able to make sure that Brian doesn't go off off a cliff either. Come on now. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gunnar Henderson. Come on now. Top of the third. Nobody on. 1-0 Oriole lead off that wild pitch. And a 3-2 count with 2 outs to Gunnar Henderson. Get him. And he does. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Gunnar Henderson, but not after the damage was done off the wild pitch. And Maverick Hanley walks in from third base to home to make it a 1-0 lead, but it's still manageable for us. Again, it's early, but again, not ideal. All right, here's where we get it started. Leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 1 in his second at-bat. We need a hit here. J.P. Crawford. Even dropping a bunt down would surprise him, and I know he'd be safe. Think about it, J.P. Batting second with his first at-bat with a double, surprisingly. DHing Jorge Polanco. And we need Polo to start heating up. And batting third, 0 for 1 and with the K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And we're definitely going to need Julio and Cal to will us to this victory as well. Let's go, J-Rod. Tridents up. And we'll be live tomorrow. We're still, finally ending up the road homestand 9 games here in Seattle, which hasn't really been kind to us. That's where you're typically supposed to make up ground, but we go on the road to Los Angeles tomorrow, and we're going to be playing the Angels. So hopefully we don't play down to the competition. We have Bryce Miller on the mound, who hasn't been good this year, 2-4 record, 5.36 ERA, but we're going against a guy, Hendricks, that's 2-6 with a 5.34. So even though Bryce has not been very good this year, if he gives up 5 runs or less and we can get the bats to come alive, we should have a good chance to win. You would assume 2 out of 3 against the Angels. At least we're hoping so. First pitch to J.P. Crawford, high and away with a 4-seam fastball by Zach Eflin, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle with the cutter, 87 miles an hour by Eflin, 1 ball and 1 strike to our boy, J.P. Crawford. And again, in the last 10 games, we've only had 4 guys that have actually been productive. Miles Mastroboni in limited action, J.P. Crawford, Julio, and Cal. We need others to step up. And when we were a top 5 hitting team in those first 30 games, we had about 5 or 6 guys that were raking. Not so much anymore. And there it is. J.P. Crawford singles to left. I had a feeling that he would. And again, sometimes you just have that gut feeling when you know a guy is going to get a nice base knock. Nice job, J.P. Now, the real question, can we get Polo to go 2 for 2? And can he get another single or double here at his second at-bat? Let's go, Polo. I mean, obviously, Polo feels like hasn't homered in ages. If he could get us a big 2-run jack here so we could go up 2-1, it would be unexpected, but definitely something that Mariner fans could, have a little bit of a smile. It's been a minute. Polo has been very, very cold as of late, but getting a double at his first at-bat today, a good sign. First pitch outside with the curve, 1-0 count. Eflin on the mound, Polo in the box. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees, changeup, 86 miles an hour by Zach Eflin. 1 ball and 1 strike from Eflin to Polo. Come on, Jorge. We need you. Let's try to get to home run number 11. You've been stuck at 10 for ages. One pitch. Fielder's choice to the shortstop. Crawford out at second and Polo at first. 1 away. At least it wasn't a double play. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K. We don't need him to get back to bad habits in March and April. I don't want to see strikeouts out of Julio. And I know it's going to happen from time to time, but we need you. Trident's up. Let's go, J-Rod. First pitch, low and away. Big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. And I feel like Julio and Cal are having to press a little bit because everyone else in the lineup isn't really doing a whole lot. And they're definitely going after pitches that they normally wouldn't have, obviously in the first 30 games. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees, big swing and a miss. Julio behind in the count, 0-2. I can't have you go back to the player that you were in March and April. I need you to be the player that you were in May, Julio. Come on now. Bottom of the third, runner at first, Polo with 1 out. Runner, obviously, hopefully can get to second base here and runner in scoring position at some point. And we definitely don't need a double play by Julio. Come on, J-Rod. Let's go. 0-2 pitch, fouled off. Behind in the count still 0-2 from Eflin to Julio. No balls and 2 strikes. Let's go. We normally don't bring out the Mariner Moose this early in the matchup, but we need him. Let's go. Oh-2 pitch, right down the middle, sweeper, fouled off. Julio battling still. Bottom of the third inning, runner at first with 1 out. We're down 1-0 to the Baltimore Orioles with an 0-2 count from Eflin to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. Throw to first to keep Polo honest. He's safe. Come on, Julio. And Julio strikes out swinging. Polo stole second when he ended up having that big swing and a miss, but Julio, his K rate is just skyrocketing lately, and that needs to obviously be an adjustment. Come on, J-Rod. Next up, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. First pitch, low and at the knees with the changeup, 1-0 count. Come on, Cal. We need a home run to take a 2-1 lead or just an RBI single. Trident's up. Let's go, Cal. The best catcher in baseball, period. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Bring that electricity, Cal. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Baltimore with a runner at second, Polo. 1-0 pitch, low and away with the curveball, 78 miles an hour by Zach Eflin. 2 balls and no strikes from Eflin to big dumper. Two-0 pitch, low and away, fouled off by Cal Raleigh with that changeup, 87 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Eflin to Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Come on, Cal. Two-one pitch, low and away, and he fouls that one off again. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and 2 outs. Eflin on the mound. Cal Raleigh, big dumper in the box. Let's go, Cal. Let's go, Cal. We need you, baby. Bottom of the third, runner at second, Polo. And that last attempt there on that foul ball, almost fair, but just missed it. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Eflin to Cal Raleigh. Come on, big dumper. 3-2 pitch, fouled off by Cal Raleigh. He's grinding this at-bat out. 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and 2 outs. Eflin on the mound, big dumper in the box. Let's go, Cal. Can't leave too many guys on base, and it's not like we're getting lots of opportunities in these last 30 games. Going from a top 5 hitting team in the first 30 games to a bottom 10 hitting team in the last 30. And again, we've lost 6 out of the last 9 games, and hopefully that will turn around, but it has to start today, and then we fly to Los Angeles and have a 3-game set against the Angels. Three-two pitch, and Raleigh singles to left. Polo, go, go, go. Yes, there we go. There's the RBI single that I fucking wanted. Yes, sir. We're tied up at 1, baby. Woo! Yes, sir. Nice job, Cal. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we talk about being a top 3 MVP candidate. You know, he doesn't have to be home runs all the time. Just taking what the team gives you. Nice job by Big Dumper. Next up is Randy Arozarena. Nice job, Cal. And down goes Randy. But again, the damage is done. And a lot of times after you have that emotional home run or RBI, typically that next guy up, usually gets out, especially if they're overly aggressive in the first few pitches, like Randy was. But Polo ends up coming home from second, and that makes me feel very, very good. Still, no guarantee that we're winning this game, but to be able to tie it up 1-1 in the third gives us a little bit of hope, considering how games 1 and 2 went early in the series. All right, let's go to the top of the fourth inning. Nice job by Big Dumper. You're the man. Best player on the team, hands down. Let's see who's up next here for the Baltimore Orioles. And speaking of hot hands, one of their better players that's not really well known, considering they have Holiday, Rushman, and Henderson. First baseman, Ryan O'Hearn, 1 for 1. The guy is a stud, very underrated. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, left fielder, Dylan Carlson. And batting third, 0 for 1, right fielder, Heston Kerstad. Let's go Mariners. Mariner Moose definitely worked. Let's go. Nice job, Cal. Let's go. Trident's up. Go. First pitch from Brian Wu to Ryan O'Hearn, high and away with the four-seam fastball. Should have been called strike, but called ball. 1-0 count. O'Hearn in the box. Brian Wu on the mound. Let's go, Wu. 1-0 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Wu to O'Hearn. Two-0 pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. 2 balls and 1 strike from Wu to O'Hearn. Now to sprinkle in a couple new Wus. I got one more new one. Couple with the creams. And then I got another one, obviously, with him in the navies. 2-1 pitch, fouled off. High and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to O'Hearn. Let's go, Brian. Top of the fourth inning, Wu on the mound, O'Hearn in the box. It's a pitcher's duel between Eflin and Wu, and O'Hearn strikes out looking. Nice. There we go. Nice job by Brian Wu. Let's get it, baby. Bring that electricity. 1 away. Especially one of their hottest hitters in the lineup that's not named Holiday, Rushman, or Henderson, O'Hearn. Next up, left fielder Dylan Carlson. First pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 1-0 count. And you're not really seeing Wu trying to throw through the hitters because he knows he doesn't want to give up home runs. And again, you're going to have to paint the corners, but again, at some point, you're going to have to challenge some of these hitters. But so far, Wu being a phenomenal pitcher as he is, and Eflin looking damn nice himself right now, still knotted up at 1 in the top of the fourth. And again, we might have to wait until the 7th, 8th, and 9th to go on a little sprint as the game will start over after the starting pitching goes out. But depending on pitch count, we may need Wu to go 7 innings if we want any chance. But Wu is already at 54 pitches, so he might not be able to make it there. We'll find out. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Hopefully he has a couple easy innings here. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wu to Carlson. 7 more likes to 30. Let's get there. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes on the stream. And again, we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dylan Carlson. Let's go, Woo. Wheel and deal, baby. Steelers, Packers. That'll be interesting. In play, and Carlson lines out to center. 2 away. Next up, 0 for 1, right fielder Heston Kjerstad. The game is in Green Bay, correct? Aaron will get a majority of cheers. You know, there probably will be some people that will be just booing just for the simple fact that he's on Pittsburgh now and whatnot. But obviously at this point of Jordan Love's career, he's better than Aaron. You know, Aaron's going to be probably one of the bottom 7 QBs. So, but he'll still be able to help them win a few games. But I don't assume that they'll make the playoffs.
So with Geico,
in play, and Kjerstad grounds out to second, throw to first, and we get out of the inning unscathed. Let's go.
So can I get chorizo?
Yeah, metaphoric, yeah.
Carnitas.
Just chicken. Just give me a bunch of chicken.
Ooh, bacon.
Oh wait, there isn't too much hot sauce.
Next up, first baseman, 1 for 1, Rowdy Tellez.
Can I get chips?
How about guacamole?
Batting second, right fielder, 1 for 1,
Sure.
Leody Taveras.
Okay.
For bundling made easy.
And batting
Get more
third,
with
third
Geico.
baseman, 0 for 1, Miles Mastroboni. Let's go Mariners. I appreciate that. I mean, it definitely, it's hard. You know, it's not an easy thing. Like, you know, we already know on YouTube that NFL live play-by-play and reactions is oversaturated. There's a lot of people that do it, some that are good and some that aren't. And then obviously, you know, if you are a fan of baseball, hockey, NBA, it's a little harder, you know, to do live play-by-play and reactions with those type of sports in that niche market. But again, we do a little bit of everything here. We do baseball, basketball, football, hockey, NASCAR, WWE, AEW, and even in the past, we did a little bit of boxing and UFC. So again, you know, when we say that we're fanatics here, we truly mean it. But I appreciate the kind words. And again, I just try to, you know, give that energy and that excitement. So to people that, you know, maybe fair weather fans, occasional watchers, or people that are just doing parlays, that I'm trying to make baseball as exciting as it can be. Now, obviously, going to a game in person is going to be a lot better than watching it on TV for the average person. But again, I have been a fan of this team for like 40 years. And again, you know, it's just about bringing awareness and excitement to the game of baseball while we wait until NFL and college football season ends up approaching in the next couple months. But I appreciate the kind words, Bo. Appreciate you. First pitch from Eflin to Rowdy Tellez. Makes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Zach Eflin, 4-2 record with an ERA of 4.46. And he's been wheeling and dealing just like Brian Wu. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the curve. 1 ball and 1 strike from Eflin to Rowdy. 1-1 pitch, sweeper, fouled off. Nice souvenir for that fan. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, and we're knotted up at 1. And I try to be as descriptive and informative as possible. You know, I feel like, you know, we bring something very special here as far as, you know, baseball live streams. You know, even though we do a little bit of everything, you know, it's not going to be one of those things that's easy to do. But again, I appreciate all the support. Shout out to all the people watching all across the globe. And big swing and a miss. Down goes Rowdy Tellez, 1 away. Almost hit a home run on that last pitch against Bautista Felix yesterday, but just couldn't get the wind to pull it. Next up, 1 for 1, right fielder Leody Taveras. But I feel that we bring one of the best baseball broadcasts on all of YouTube. as far as everyone that does baseball live streams, you get something a little bit different here. And we don't just, give all the love to the Mariners and hate on the opposing team. We try to make sure we're giving the proper love when it needs to be given, regardless of what team that is or what player that is, Mariners or not. No bias. Call it right down the middle. 0-1 pitch, high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike to Leody Taveras. 1-1 pitch, and flied out to center, 2 away. Next up, in the 8-hole, Miles Mastroboni filling in for Ben Williamson. Let's go, Miles. Let's go, baby. We need you to connect. Get a base knock. First pitch in play by Miles Mastroboni, and a nice single to left. Nice job, Miles. You show the single photo, you get a single. Nice job by Miles. And again, he's one of only 4 hitters in the last 10 games that has been good. JP, Julio, Cal, and Miles. And Miles isn't even playing every day. Nice job, Miles. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, second baseman Cole Young. Not a hit in his first professional game, but has cooled off. We need Cole to get hot. Let's go, Cole. We need that electricity, Cole. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 4th inning. We're knotted up at 1. Cole Young in the box with 2 outs with a runner at first. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away, about 5 feet off the plate from Zach Eflin. 1 ball and 1 strike from Eflin to Young. Come on, Cole. And we need to get his teammate, Harry Ford, up here into the majors ASAP, especially with us, not being a top 5 hitting team anymore. We were for the first 30 games, but now, a bottom 5, bottom 10 hitting team in the last 30. Something's got to give, and especially since the bullpen hasn't been good all year, you can't afford to have starting pitching, bullpen, and hitting all going down the shitter. Otherwise, we're not going to win the division. We're going to have to get second place, and that may or may not be good enough to make the playoffs. And Young grounds out to second, and that is the end of the 4th inning. Brutal.
Can I make my side softer?
I make my side firmer. Sleep Number does that. Your ideal firmness and effortless comfort all night.
Can I help us sleep better and better?
Please.
Sleep Number does that.
Next up, third baseman, 0 for 1, Emmanuel Rivera.
Shop the summer cool down sale. Save 40% on the new Cooling Special Edition Smart Bed. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you.
Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Jorge Mateo. And batting third, 0 for 0 with a run and a base on ball, catcher Maverick Hanley. All right, take a look at some of the pitching stats since we're about halfway through the matchup right now. 1 run, 2 hits for Baltimore, 1 run, 6 hits for the Mariners. So the Mariners are hitting today, but we're just not able to bring everybody home just yet. Let's take a quick look. First with Zach Eflin. All right, Eflin came in with a 4-2 record, ERA of 4.46. Let's see how he's doing. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 5 Ks, 51 pitches. Is that where he's at? 61 pitches, 42 strikes, 4.26 ERA. And then let's take a quick peek here at Brian Wu. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 Ks, couple wild pitches, 58 pitches, 39 strikes, and a 2.78 ERA. So other than the wild pitches by Wu that brought in the run, he's been pretty flawless. But again, we need to be able to limit the damage. He's on a 2-hitter right now, and hopefully that'll stay that way all the way to the 6th inning. It's a big ask. But again, a guy can dream. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. First pitch to Emmanuel Rivera. Takes a strike looking right down the middle from Brian Wu. 0-1 count. Let's go, Wu. Wheel and deal, baby. Bring that electricity and that fire and that energy. Top of the 5th inning. We're knotted up at 1. 0-1 pitch in play. Grounds out to second. Throw to first. 1 away. Let's go, Brian. I need this intensity and energy. Let's go. Nice job. 1 away. Next up, center fielder Jorge Mateo. First pitch, high and inside with the sinker, 84 miles an hour, 1-0 count from Wu to Mateo. Top of the 5th, nobody on, 1 out. We're tied up at 1 between the Baltimore Orioles and the Seattle Mariners. Pure talent in the building. What's good? Seven more likes to 30. Let's get there, baby. We're at 23, 27 more to go to hit the goal. And as we get a little bit deeper into the game, hopefully we'll get a few more people to come through. Especially if it ends up being a closer game, we should get a little bit of a boost. 1-0 pitch, fouled off at the knees. Sinker, 85 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Mateo. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Wu to Mateo. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away, four-seam fastball painting the line in the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Mateo. Let's go, Brian. Keep wheeling and dealing. And we have to be very blessed that we have a guy as good as Brian Wu. And again, think about if your favorite team had 5 pitchers in the starting rotation and 3 of them were injured for a majority of the year, including your best in Logan Gilbert. We're finding ways to stay afloat the best way that we can. And there we go, Wu. Nice job getting Mateo out. See ya. 2 away. Down goes Jorge. Way to bring that electricity, Wu. I see you. Next up with 2 outs, 0 for 0 with a run and a base on ball, catcher Maverick Hanley. And obviously he's not the everyday catcher because that's Adley Rushman. Adley is DHing today. First pitch, low and away with the sinker. 95 miles an hour by Brian Wu, 1-0 count. Five punch outs there for Brian Wu. Appreciate that all day. It's always nice when you can have more than one person besides captain help with that. So appreciate you.
So
1-0 pitch in play. Hanley grounds out to second. Throw to first. Got him. And there we go. We get out of the inning unscathed.
So can I get chorizo?
Metaphorically, yeah.
Carnitas.
Just chicken. Just give me a bunch of chicken.
Oh, bacon.
Oh wait, there isn't too much hot sauce, is there? I have a sensitive palate.
I actually like hot sauce.
Can I get chips?
How about guacamole?
I don't really know what we're talking about anymore.
Burritos.
Okay.
For bundling made easy, get more with Geico.
Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And again, if we're going to take the lead, we need J.P. to be that guy, the guy to set the tone. And again, hopefully he can get on base, even getting on with a bunt. No one would expect it. Let's go, J.P. Batting second, actually having a decent game so far, 1 for 2 with a run, DHing Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Polo. And batting third, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. No more strikeouts. And you don't need to go for home run swings, right? Just take what they give you. And if that's a single, take it. Trident's up. This moment will come when it's ready, but you don't need to have every swing to try to be a home run swing. Play within yourself. Let's go, J-Rod. You can do it. Trident's up. Yeah, Angels, D-backs, Guardians, Red Sox, Cubs, and Twins. It's not going to be easy, but again, we have Logan Gilbert coming back. Luke Raley hopefully will be back, in a decent amount of time. Hopefully in that time period, we call up Harry Ford. We rearrange the batting order, find a way to, have the right guys in the pen. And, again, we just have to stay afloat. And again, if the Astros and the Rangers are struggling also, even if we lose, if they're losing also, it's not going to hurt us as bad. So again, we already know the Angels and the Athletics are at the bottom typically, and there may be a little bit of movement in the division, but it's typically going to be a 2-team or a 3-team race. But again, if the Rangers and the Astros are right next to us or in front of us, and we all are losing together, it's not going to feel as bad, but hopefully we can get back on track. I don't know if we're going to ever get back to that pace that we were in the first 30 games, but again, hopefully we will. First pitch, takes a strike, looking to J.P. Crawford. High and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. Behind in the count, 0-2 to J.P. Crawford from Zach Eflin. 0-2 pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Zach Eflin to J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. Scoring 1 to 3 runs is not good enough. In play, and this is the J.P. Crawford game, baby. There it is. Go, go, go. A nice double by J.P. And again, we've really only had 4 guys that have been consistent in the last 10 games. J.P., Julio, Cal, and Miles Mastroboni in limited action. But J.P. having a 2-for-3 day, and I love it. That one goes over the right fielder's head. I love it, baby. Nice double by J.P. Now let's see if we can knock him in. Next up, a guy that had a double earlier in the game, Jorge Polanco. But we're hitting much better today than we were yesterday. It's just leaving guys stranded. We already have one of the metrics that we need to win. 7 to 10 hits. We're already at 7 hits, but we only have a run. No home runs yet. Not a whole lot of RBI situations that we've cashed in. But again, they only have 2 hits on Brian Wu. We got 7. We just need to be able to keep going. And at this pace, we're pacing for about 12 hits. So we'll see if we can get that before this game is up. 1-0 pitch. In play. Polo grounds out to the pitcher. And Crawford to third. Safe. Okay, here we go. Okay, Polo, at least you moved the runner over. Next up, Julio Rodriguez. And Julio, you don't even need to go for a home run here to make it a 3-1. RBI single if it's there. Now, if the pitch is right down the middle, do what you do. Try to ends up. But again, we can still win this game by playing within yourself. First pitch, big swing and a miss. And I feel like Julio has been pressing in June, considering all the rest of the batters, for the most part, have not been doing their job besides J.P. Cal and Miles Mastroboni. And you're seeing a little uptick in Julio's strikeouts here in June. And also at the end of May, even though he did have a very productive May compared to March and April. Come on, J-Rod. Bottom of the 5th inning, we're knotted up at 1. 0-1 pitch, fouled off low and at the knees. And you don't want Julio to get in a bunch of 0-2 counts, because that's kind of the recipe for disaster. Every single year that he starts off his career, March and April, it seems like every fucking time he's in the box, it's an 0-2 count. But in May, you didn't really see him strike out a lot, and he didn't have a whole lot of 0-2 counts. He was really working the pitch count, and hopefully he'll be a little bit more patient. Seitzer and Edgar Martinez are trying to teach all these players the patience is the key. 0-2 pitch, low and away. And if that was in March and April, that would have been strike 3. So at least he didn't swing there. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at third and 1 out. Hell, even Julio bunting, again, we wouldn't expect him to do it, but we got to find a way. And Julio grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first, 2 away. All right, Cal, you got to be the guy. You are the best player on the team. You already have 1 RBI. Let's make it 2. JP did his job. Let's see if Cal can do his. Tried ends up. Now, obviously, getting a 2-run homer and going up 3-1 would probably give us the momentum that we need, moving forward. But we can take singles out of Cal like this as well. It doesn't always have to be a homer. Let's go. Big dumper. Let's go, Cal. Tried ends up. Bottom of the 5th inning, JP at third. Let's not waste this opportunity. We're hitting today. We need to make sure we're knocking guys in. I mean, based off the hits that we have so far, we probably should have 2 runs. If we had a home run, we probably would be at 3, but we can't leave too many guys stranded. 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. We've already checked off 1 box. We already have 7 hits, and it's against Eflin, who's a good pitcher. So that's a little shocking. But again, he's been able to limit the damage and not have guys come home. But now with Cal Raleigh up, with 1 swing, we can go up 3-1. 2 outs with runners in scoring position hasn't been good for Cal. 167 average, 3 for 18. He can, be a little bit better here, hopefully, this afternoon. First pitch to Cal, low and away, 2 feet off the plate by Zach Eflin, 1-0 count. In play, back. See ya! 337 feet. JP Crawford scores. Cal Raleigh, you are the fucking man. Trident's up. 3-1 Mariners. Woo! Let's go. God bless Cal Raleigh, single-handedly keeping us afloat for the Seattle Mariners. Everyone wanted to talk about Julio Rodriguez, but I'm sorry. This is the best player on the team, and again, one of the best players in baseball in 2025. Nice job, Big Dumper, single-handedly accounting for all 3 runs for the Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Next up is Randy Arozarena. First pitch to Randy Arozarena. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Bottom of the 5th, 3-1 Mariners, and we're going to win this game. Again, bullpen has been shaky, but hopefully we can add on and get a couple more runs and get it to 5. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss for Randy, who's got the same type of strikeout syndrome as Julio lately. Got to change that. Behind in the count now, 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Low and away with the curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena from Zach Eflin. Bottom of the 5th, 3-1 Mariners. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 2-2 pitch, low and away. No. Low and at the knees inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Let's keep this inning going, but typically after a big play, usually the momentum dies at that point, and then the inning is over, but we'll see if Randy can buck the trend. Pitch is fouled off right down the middle from Zach Eflin. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and 2 outs. Seattle Mariners, Cal Raleigh, he is the man. Top 3 MVP candidate with Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Crazy to say that, he's in that same stratosphere, but he truly is in 2025. 3-2 pitch, fouled off with the sweeper by Eflin. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. $5 holla. We've missed you. You've been gone a few days, and we've been feeling the pain. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Mariners have lost 6 out of the last 9. We were a top 5 hitting team in the first 30 games. Now we're a bottom 5, bottom 10 hitting team. And the last 30, something's got to give, baby. Cal is nutty. I agree. And down goes Randy Arozarena with the strikeout syndrome that Julio had in March and April. That's the end of the inning. 3-1 Mariners.
And all the while, you were vacuuming.
Let's go.
Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Go Ems. Let me know what you want to do for a photo. I got you. Yeah, averaging 1 to 3 runs ain't going to cut it. Nice job, Cal. End of the 5th inning, 3-1 Mariners. Trident's up. And any given moment, Cal can explode. And again, Eflin is a good pitcher. So again, I was hoping that we would get 1 to 3 runs within the first 5 innings, and we did. So again, and this doesn't guarantee that we're going to win. We know how bad our bullpen has been. They can easily give up 1 to 7 runs, in the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th inning. But hopefully we'll add on a little bit, and we can find a way to be able to prevent from us being swept with the Harry Potter brooms by the Baltimore Orioles. Nice job, Cal Raleigh. You the man. Way to bring that electricity. You are the best player on the Mariners. Period. I mean, bring Leo Rivas up, call Harry Ford up. We definitely need to be active, at the trade deadline. We need to make 4 moves, maybe a right fielder, a first baseman, and 2 bullpen guys, or maybe 3 bullpen guys, based on how bad the bullpen has been. And if you're just tuning in the top of the 3rd inning, Hanley scored on a wild pitch from Wu, walked in from 3rd, 1-0 Baltimore. And then, obviously, in the bottom of the 3rd, big dumper Cal Raleigh singled to left. Polo scored from 2nd, 1-1, Mariners and Orioles. And then Cal, at his next at-bat, going from the left side, homered just moments ago, 337 feet with JP on board, who's having a good game as well. 3-1 Seattle as we go to the top of the 6th. Next up for Brian Wu, second baseman Jackson Holliday. First pitch, high and away. 1-0 count from Wu to Holliday. Let's go, baby. Keep wooing. Wheel and deal. One-0 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Holliday. One pitch, high and away. No. Low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Wu to Holliday. I wouldn't mind seeing Leo get called back up. Would love to see Harry Ford get called up. Obviously, Cole Young, got a hit at his first game, but he's been pretty ice cold. Same thing with Ben Williamson. It's like, when you got these young guys, you hope for the best, but it's not just those guys. I mean, we've only had really 4 guys in the last 10 games that have done anything. JP, right? Julio, Cal, Miles Masterboni, and he doesn't even play every day. And then an occasional Polo or Randy here and there, but not really the consistency that we need to be able to win games. We've dropped 6 out of the last 9. Not ideal. 3-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. Count now is full for Brian Wu. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and no outs. And a 3-2 pitch, and Wu walks Holliday. Jackson to first. All right, now we need a double play right up the middle by Adley Rushman. That will be a tough task. But hopefully Adley can hit a slow dribbler right up the middle, and that'll give us 2 outs. And if not Adley, then Gunner. So far, Adley Rushman 1 for 2, having a good series against the Mariners. Yeah. It sucks that the Orioles have to start turning it around against us, but they were already starting to turn it around prior to our series. They were already starting to kind of get into a little bit of a groove. And yeah, they're still quite a few games behind 500. They're 24-36, one of the bigger disappointments with no Corbin Burns or Anthony Santander. But again, of course, it's the Mariners that they would beat up at home to kind of get more momentum and Uncle Mo on their side. But we go on the road to the Angels in Los Angeles, obviously tomorrow, and hopefully we can win 2 out of 3 there and we don't play down to the competition. Otherwise, we're only going to win 1 out of 3. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away by Adley Rushman, the former Oregon State Beaver, first pick in the draft from a few years ago. Behind in the count 0-2 from Wu to Rushman. Well, Randy has never really been a consistent player for the Mariners ever since he came over. He's definitely the laziest player in the outfield. And as far as a defensive player, by far the laziest. And again, you can't have a lazy defender in the outfield and a guy that can't hit. But, hopefully both both things will improve as the season goes on. Pitch fouled off, still behind in the count 0-2 from Wu to Rushman. But there is an occasional amazing play that Randy will make from time to time where he'll make a diving grab or he'll end up getting an out and getting a double play, throw to second. You know, every once in a while, like once every 2 weeks, you'll see like a spectacular play out of Randy in the outfield. But, you know, after every one spectacular play, there's 10 of him lollygagging and jogging, to the ball and just casually throwing it to first or second. And I want to see a little bit more hustle out of Randy. In play. Back. See ya! And Adley Rushman ties the game with Jackson Holiday aboard, and we're tied up at 3. Oh, no. Not good. And Gunnar is up next. Adley Rushman making his homecoming back here to the Pacific Northwest. Played on the Oregon State Beavers. Oh, brutal. And again, you want Wu to give up 3 runs or less, but you didn't want him to give up a home run there. Fuck. Especially when our hitting has not been ideal lately. Next up, shortstop Gunnar Henderson. And if we're not careful here, we're going to get swept by the Orioles. Nice base knock. Nice homer. 2-run jack by Adley. Way to bring that electricity for Baltimore and give them faith. Next up is Gunnar Henderson. First pitch, low and out the knees. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Henderson. Yeah. Polo was batting about 100 in the last, 10 to 15 games, last 30. Almost the player that we saw last year. Obviously started off great, with 350 to 450 batting average and 10 homers, but has not been good. And again, Randy hasn't been good. Ben Williamson and Cole Young haven't really produced. Again, when we were winning, back, see ya. Oh, God, we might have just lost the game. Back-to-back homers, and now another one, a solo jack by Gunnar Henderson. That's not ideal for Brian Wu. Fuck! Now we're down 4-3, and it's not guaranteed that the bats are going to come alive. God damn it! Next up, first baseman, a guy that's been very hot for the O's, Ryan O'Hearn. And we better not give up back-to-back homers, which could happen here. Golly. This is unbelievable. And this is our best pitcher. Thank God we got Logan Gilbert coming back soon. But again, the bullpen is terrible. Hitting is terrible. Now we can't have starting pitching, to kind of go down the tubes. Wu is our best. We don't trust Kirby or Miller. Logan Evans should get called back up, even if it's for the pen, or a starting position. Hancock pitched well yesterday, but we couldn't get the hits. And Vargas fucked up the game for us yesterday, giving up a fucking 2 RBI triple to Kerstad. And now we're in a jam, down by a run when we just thought we might have been able to have that momentum. Now we're down 4-3. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wu to O'Hearn. God damn it. Brutal. Shows you how important pitching and bullpen truly is. I mean, every aspect of the game. But again, we're not getting walked. We're not getting plunked. We're not stealing bags. We're not bunting. Again, they have some good fucking players on their team. No Anthony Santander, Blue Jays, and no Corbin Burns anymore. So that was a problem, for them kind of figuring out their identity. And they've had injuries like the Mariners to some of their players. But man, brutal. And O'Hearn strikes out swinging on the 1-2 pitch. Thank God. 1 away. Down goes Ryan. Next up, left fielder Dylan Carlson. Come on, Mariners. I mean, even if we keep hitting, we still might lose if the bullpen is terrible. Bullpen has been very bad for us lately. So, even if you have a 1 or 2 run lead, it may not be enough. Even if we were able to get to, 6-4 by the 7th or 8th inning, somehow we end up scoring 3 more runs and we're up by 1 or 2. Still not a guaranteed win for us. As Carlson flies out 2 away. Next up, the hero from game number 2 that had a 2-run RBI triple on Carlos Vargas, who's not good, right fielder Heston Kjerstad. His ERA may say he's decent, but I don't trust him at all. And Kjerstad on the first pitch lines out to center, and that is the end of the Orioles, but the damage is done.
Subaru and our retailers are there to help by providing blankets for comfort and warmth and encouraging messages of hope to help support nearly 500,000 patients facing cancer nationwide. Subaru is proud to be the largest automotive donor to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, united for over a decade.
Next up for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 6th, 1 for 2 with a K, first baseman Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, 1 for 2 right fielder Leody Taveras. And batting third, a guy that has been hot in limited action for the Mariners, 1 for 2, third baseman filling in for Ben Williamson, Miles Mastrobuoni. Come on, Mariners. Got to find a way to dig deep. I mean, I don't care if we end up winning only by a run. You know, the bullpen has to do good today. And then the bats have to continue to stay hot. We can't get swept. First pitch in play by Rowdy, lined out to right. 1 away. I need him to work the count. Almost hit a home run against Felix Bautista there at the end of the game, but just came up short. Work the count, Rowdy. Next up, right fielder Leody Taveras. I mean, we can't have an inning where we get out in 3 pitches. Come on now. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle from Eflin. 0-1 count. We're at 30, 20 more to go to hit the goal. 0-1 pitch, fouled off low and away by Leody Taveras, behind in the count 0-2 from Zach Eflin. And Eflin coming into the game with a 4-2 record and ERA of 4.46. So obviously a pretty solid pitcher, you know, on the Orioles. One of their best since they don't have Corbin Burns. And Brian Wu, you know, he doesn't typically give up runs like that, but it happens. 0-2 pitch and strike looking. Should have been called ball outside of the zone, but called strike 3, and that's 2 away. Brutal. Down goes Rowdy. Down goes Leody. And now we're down to our last guy possibly here in the bottom of the 6th. Hopefully Miles can get a single. Third baseman Miles Mastrobuoni. Work the count. First pitch to Miles, low and away, 1-0 count. Come on, Miles. No pitch, takes a strike looking, low and away, change up, painting the corner, 1 ball and 1 strike to Miles Mastrobuoni. Come on, Miles. Let's see if we can get a single here. Keep the inning going. Let's stay alive. I want to get back to that Mariner team in those first 30 games where we were averaging 6 runs a game. You know, starting pitching was good, and the bullpen wasn't as bad as it is now. We were rolling, but now we're hitting a wall. Mastrobuoni in play on the 1-1 pitch, grounds out to first, and that's the end of the 6th inning. All right, let's go to the top of the 7th and see who's up next here for the Orioles. At least we're only down a run, but gosh, man, it's like as soon as we end up having something good happen, then it gets ripped out of our, hands just immediately after. We can't even soak in the game that Cal Raleigh is having, and us having a lead, it only lasts like minutes, and then they ended up hitting 1 home run, and not only that, another home run right after. But we got to regroup. Next up, 0 for 2, third baseman Emmanuel Rivera. Batting second, center fielder Jorge Mateo. Batting third, catcher Maverick Hanley. Let's go Mariners. Not over yet. Yeah, it's crazy with Skeens, and Wu, how good they've been pitching this year. But again, if you can't get the run support or if you have a bad bullpen, even guys like Wu and Skeens aren't guaranteed wins, week in and week out. If the rest of the team isn't helping out and doing their job, especially with Skeens, with the Pittsburgh Pirates, facts. Oh, great. And now they got Carlos Vargas in? Oh, God. Why? Fucking A. Are we going to lose again? Now, if Vargas gives up 1 or 2 runs, we're fucked. Why Vargas? Why not Brash? Why not Jackson Kowar? Why not Gabe Spire? Really? Legomina shouldn't be on the team. Vargas, you're terrible. First pitch, takes a strike swinging. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Vargas to Rivera. Golly. I mean, at least Colin Snyder's on the IL right now, but I don't like this. Rivera flies out to left, 1 away. Next up for the Orioles, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Center fielder Jorge Mateo. First pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone. 0-1 count. And let's pray that he gets out of the inning unscathed, which does happen from time to time. But, I mean, even if he gives up 1 run, that might be, the icing on the cake for the Orioles. We have to really keep it within 1. No guarantee that we can score, 1 or 2 more, but we want to make sure that we're not down 2 or 3 at this point, or 4. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball, no. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out from Vargas to Mateo. And Mateo strikes out swinging. We get incredibly lucky here. At least we're getting a better version of Carlos Vargas after blowing the game yesterday, giving up a 2-run RBI triple to Kerstad. Today a little bit better, but it's still, the inning isn't over yet. Next up, 0 for 1 with a run and a base on ball, Maverick Hanley. I guess we're lucky that Vargas is going against the 7, 8, and the 9-hole hitters, and they're struggling today. If he was pitching at the top of the order, we probably would be fucked. So we have to at least be thankful for that. First pitch, high and away with that sinker, 1-0 count from Vargas to Hanley. And I don't want to see Vargas out there in the 8th. 1-0 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. 4-3 Oriole lead. Five more likes to 40. Let's go. 15 more to hit the goal to get to 50. Top of the 7th, 4-3 Baltimore lead. And Vargas gets us out of the inning, luckily against the 7, 8, and 9-hole hitters. Hanley grounds out to first, and that is the end of the 7th inning. Thank God. Feels like forever since the last time Vargas actually got us out of an inning without giving up 1, 2, 3, 4 runs. All right, let's see if we can actually do something here. in the bottom of the 7th. We're running out of time. You know, in the first 30 games, again, we were a very productive 7th, 8th, and 9th inning team. Again, we still are pretty productive, but it has dropped off quite a bit. And instead of being a top 5 hitting team in the first 30 games, we are a bottom 10 hitting team in the last 30. Something's got to give. And hopefully a guy like this can step up. You need to. 0 for 2 with a K in the 9-hole, Cole Young. Batting second, having a great game, 2 for 3 with a K. No, 2 for 3 with a run, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a double and a run, DHing Jorge Polanco. Come on, Mariners. Drop a bunt down. If Cole drops a bunt down, he'll be safe, and they would not expect it. You know, we need to get back to the basics here. Let's go. Now, Vargas still sucks. I mean, I don't know if you watch games from beginning to end like us. You know, you can look at his stats and look at his ERA, but he's not trustworthy. He's not trustworthy. Bizzardo isn't trustworthy. Snyder isn't trustworthy. Trent Thornton isn't trustworthy. Most of the guys in the pen are not good. You know, you got Matt Brash. He's good, right? You got Gabe Spire. Was good at the beginning of the year, then he hit a wall, and then now he's starting to get good again. And now you got Jackson Kowar probably being the third best guy over Legumina, you know, who was decent, but then hit a wall, and then, you know, hasn't really been trustworthy since. So we'll see where it goes. And then obviously we have one of the best closers in the game, but we can't bring him in. You know, when we're down a run, we have to be ahead. So we'll see where it goes. I just call it how I see it. You know, if guys are good, I'm going to give them the credit. When they're not, you know, it is what it is. All right, we got Dylan Moore coming in. They given up on the Cole Young first 2 at-bats. No confidence there. So now they're going to go with Demo, and hopefully Demo can get a chance to get something. So Demo, JP, and then Polo, unless they have someone pitch hit for Polo like Garv or Solano. And Aiken comes in, and we'll see, obviously, left-handed pitching, right-handed pitching, and that'll determine, you know, what we have going for Polo if he stays in. And it looks like it's a lefty, so Polo will be out, and they'll bring in Garver or Solano more than likely. And Demo on an 0-2 pitch. 3 swings in a row. What a wasted at-bat. We should have had Cole Young 1 away. That didn't work out. What happened, Dylan? 3 fucking swings? Jesus Christ. Next up, 2 for 3 with a run. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. Get on base again. You get on base, we might be able to tie this game. Let's go, J.P. When you have a guy come in and pinch hit, you don't want him to strike out on fucking 3 pitches. Swing, swing, swing. Come on. Come on, Demo. 260 average, 8 homers and 16 ribbies, but again, with only limited action under his belt, doesn't have the same kind of rhythm, you know, as an everyday player, and it shows. In play, and JP fouls out to left. Fuck, 2 away. And are they going to have Polo go against the lefty? And this type of situation, normally you're going to have Mitch Garver or Solano, but we know those guys can't really hit, and they decide just to move Polo to the right side. All right, well, we'll find out if this is going to work or not. First pitch, and he goes for a bunt. The first time that we've seen a bunt attempt in ages, but it goes foul, 0-1 count. Polo dropping bunts, huh? You want to be dropping bunts when you have no outs or 1 out, not with 2 outs. But at this point, fuck, I'll take bunts at any point in the game. 255 average, 10 homers and 30 ribbies, but he was batting 350 to 450. And again, Polo has cooled off tremendously. 0-1 pitch, high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike from Aiken to Polo. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. One-two pitch. high and inside. Tries to jam the hitter with that four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Aiken. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and 2 outs. Mariners down a run, 4-3, after having a 3-2 lead. And that evaporated pretty fucking quick. Or a 3-1 lead, and then it went to 4-3. 2-run jack by Adley Rutschman and a solo dinger by Gunnar Henderson. And down goes Polo. End of the 7th inning, 4-3 O's. Next up for the Orioles, 0-for-2 with a run and a base on ball, second baseman Jackson Holliday. Batting second, 2-for-3 with a run with 2 RBIs, 2-run jack to give him the lead, Adley Rutschman. And batting third, 1-for-3 with a run, RBI and a K, solo dinger to give him the 4-3 lead, Gunnar Henderson. Let's go Mariners. Now I just kind of cringe to see who we're going to bring in. Is it going to be Vargas? He had 10 pitches in that last inning. But we'll find out if they bring Vargas out again or bring someone else in. We got 2 innings left to try to tie the game up or take the lead. Otherwise, we're going to get swept by the O's. Not good. Bring back Leo Rivas. Call up Harry Ford. And now they have Gabe Spire coming in. That's a good decision. Hopefully we get the good Gabe and not the bad Gabe. Magic number, 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And we had the 7 hits early, but now we're at 3 runs and 8 hits. They have 4 runs and only 4 hits, but they have 2 big homers, a 2-run jack and a solo dinger. We have no home runs. Something's got to give. We either need a late inning home run in the 8th or the 9th, or back-to-back-to-back hits with an RBI situation. Come on, Mariner Moose. Come on, Gabe. Next up, Jackson Holliday. First pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. 0-1 count from Gabe Spire. Come on, baby. 0-1 pitch, low and away with that slider. 1 ball and 1 strike from Spire to Holliday. It's not over till it's over, but it's not looking too good at the moment. 1-1 pitch. Tries to jam the hitter at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Spire to Holliday. Come on, Gabe. Two-one pitch. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, fouled off. Nice souvenir for that fan. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. 4-3 Oriole lead. 2-2 pitch, low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full from Spire to Holliday. And we can't afford anybody getting plunked or giving up a couple walks. We're already down a run. Bullpen has been shaky. And again, not the best outing for Brian Wu, especially giving up back-to-back homers late and bringing in a run based off a wild pitch to start off the game, with a 1-0 deficit. But I mean, this game is still in reach. It's not like we're down 3 runs right now and it's over. We're only down 1. So, I mean, if we're going to win this game, it won't be in regulation more than likely. It would have to be probably in 10, 11, or 12. But we have to find a way to get a run either in the 8th or the 9th. 2-2 pitch. And in play. And Holliday grounds out to the pitcher. Throw to first. 1 away. Down goes Holliday. No players Holliday today. Next up, DHing Adley Rutschman. 2 for 3 with a 2-run jack. Has had a very good homecoming here to the Pacific Northwest. But hopefully we can get out of this inning. First pitch to Adley Rushman, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Come on, Gabe. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking at the hips. Should have been called ball, but called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Spire to Rushman. 5 more likes to 40, let's go. Let's try to get to 50 before the stream ends. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Spire to Rushman. Come on, baby. Come on, Gabe. 2-1 pitch in play. And Rushman singles to left. It doesn't matter who Adley go against. He has been hot against the Seattle Mariners, regardless of who's on the mound. Next up, shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. And we better not give up a 2-run jack or the game's over. Have to be able to hit a slow dribbler right up the middle for a double play to get out of the inning. And hopefully we can get that to happen here. Slow dribbler to JP. Let's go. 3-hit day for Adley. First pitch takes a strike looking right down the middle to Gunnar, 0-1 count. One pitch, fouled off. Four-seam fastball. 90 miles an hour, 1 ball and 2 strikes from Spire to Henderson. Top of the 8th with a runner at first and 1 out. We need a double play here on Gunnar desperately. 4-3 O's lead here late. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first, Adley Rushman, and 1 out. Spire on the mound, Gunnar Henderson in the box. Come on, Mariners. 2-2 pitch and a big swing and a miss. Down goes Gunnar Henderson, 2 away. Nice job by Gabe. I see you. Way to bring that electricity, Gabe. Next up for the O's, 1 for 3. 2 Ks. Has been productive in the series. First baseman Ryan O'Hearn, who's been on a heater for the O's lately. Now we just need him to strike out, pop up, or ground out, or get a force out at second. Let's go. Top of the 8th inning, Orioles up 4-3. We can't afford for them to go up 5-3 or 6-3 or the game is over. We have to keep it within 1, and hopefully we get 1 run in the 8th or the 9th, and then we can go to extras and find a way to win 5-4. Unless we're blessed enough to be able to score 2 runs in the 8th or 9th and win 5-4, but not sure if that would be possible. I hope so, but not too sure. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 50 likes before the stream ends. And we've been consistently doing that for weeks now. So, and I know it's a little bit of an early start, starting at 12:40 Pacific, but I still think we can do it. First pitch from Spire to O'Hearn, high away. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Gabe Spire, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike from Spire to O'Hearn. One pitch, takes a strike looking on the line. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs with a runner at first. Top of the 8th, 4-3 Oriole lead. Let's go, Gabe. 1 more strike and we get out of this inning. Come on, Mariners. Try to dance up. Pitch fouled off. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Spire on the mound. O'Hearn in the box. And we're at 5, 95 to go on the Dono train. Good effort there by Miles Mastroboni, diving to try to get that ball in foul territory, but just short. Maybe if that was Big Ben, he would have caught it. In play, and O'Hearn lines out to left, and we get out of the inning unscathed. All right, here we go. We got 2 innings to go to try to tie this up or to win in regulation. But even if we win in extras, I don't think any Mariner fan will be, I don't think any Mariner fan at this point would care. I mean, we're just trying to prevent the sweep. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. You got to be better. Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 2 for 3 with a run and 3 RBIs. Has accounted for all of our 3 runs. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Someone else needs to step up, and hopefully Cal will step up again. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. You got the same type of Julio Rodriguez strikeout syndrome, Randy Arozarena. Strikeout, best player on the team. Something's got to give. Julio, do your job. Randy, do your job. Cal, you've been doing your job. Top 3 player, MVP candidate with Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Keep it going. Let's go Mariners. And we got Kittredge coming in for Aiken. Come on, Mariners. Come on, Julio. You can't go 0 for 4. Earn the paycheck, baby. Let's go. I mean, if Julio can get on and we can make it a 2-run jack, that could be the difference between us winning and not winning the game. So hopefully Julio can find a way. Getting walked, getting plunked but not hurt, and going to first. Getting a single or a double. Obviously, best case scenario here would be back-to-back home runs by Julio and Cal. But again, we just got to find a way. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Come on, J-Rod. Let's go, Julio. 0-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, Mariners. I can't handle another loss. We've already lost 6 out of the last 9. If we lose today, that'll be 7 out of the last 10. And then we're going to be playing down to the competition, going on the road to the Angels. But maybe it's better that we are going on the road, or there'll be more of a us against the world mentality instead of having all these fans cheer for us and playing down to the competition. And Julio strikes out looking, even though that last pitch, a little suspect there on pitch number 3. 1 away. Brutal. Can't win games when Julio goes fucking 0 for 4. All right. Next up, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, a top 3 player in MLB. Single-handedly got us all 3 runs with an RBI, as well as a 2-run jack. Can Cal do it again? Can he be the guy that ties the game up for us? First pitch, low and away, 5 feet off the plate from Kittredge to Cal Raleigh. 1-0 count. Come on, big dumper. I mean, it's already a big ask when the guy's already gone 2 for 3 and given you all of the runs for the team. But again, single-handedly, holding this team down. Imagine if we didn't have Cal. I can only imagine what our record would be. It definitely wouldn't be above 500. 1-0 pitch, and Cal lines out and flies out to center. 2 away. Next up, left fielder, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, Randy Arozarena. And I better not see, a 3 or 4 pitch strikeout here in Randy. First pitch fouled off, 0-1 count. I mean, there's more of a, chance of Randy striking out rather than getting a hit, but we can all dream. Bottom of the 8th, 4-3 O's. Kittredge on the mound, Randy Arozarena in the box. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, behind in the count 0-2 to Randy Arozarena. And when Randy gets in an 0-2 count, it's like Julio. The chances of them getting anything is pretty slim. Is it possible? Yes, but based on watching these players throughout the season, they definitely struggle with an 0-2 count mentally and physically. 0-2 pitch, fouled off. Count remains, no balls and 2 strikes from Kittredge to Randy. Yeah, you and me both, bro. At some point it's got to turn around. But again, you knew, that 9 consecutive series win streak wasn't going to last forever. And Randy strikes out with an 0-2 count. I mean, again, I'm not going to be right about everything, but I feel like my ESP is pretty on, considering I'm watching every single pitch, every single game, compared to some people that are occasional watchers. I'm not going to be spot on and right about every prediction, but Randy and Julio in an 0-2 count is not good. End of the 8th inning, and we're down a run. And we have to still keep it within 1 if we want to have a chance, but this might end up being a 4-3 final or worse, depending on what happens here in the top of the 9th. But I still have faith that we can tie it up, and if we can find a way to tie it up, that could give us the momentum to win 5-4 in 10, 11, or 12, but we got to be able to tie it up first. Next up, 0 for 3 with a K, left fielder Dylan Carlson. And pinch hitting for Heston Kjerstad is going to be Kauza. Let me get his photo up here. All right, Colton Kauza pinch hitting here for Kjerstad, who ended up having that 2-run RBI triple yesterday. And then batting third baseman Emmanuel Rivera, unless they have someone pinch hit for him. Top of the 9th, 4-3 O's. Come on, baby. Got to dig deep. All right, we're at 38. 2 more likes to get to 40. We need 12 more before the stream ends to hit the goal of 50. Let's go, baby. And obviously, if we can get it to go to extra innings, we should get a little bit of a spike in viewership based on people rooting for the Orioles, rooting for the Mariners, or rooting for their parlay or their bet to hit. Or just interested to see what happens. All right, Legumina is in. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we'll see how it goes. First pitch, big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch from Legumina to Carlson. Fouls that one off, low and at the knees, behind in the count 0-2 from Casey Legumina to Dylan Carlson. 0-2 pitch, high and away, fouled off. Nice souvenir for that fan. Still behind in the count 0-2 from Legumina to Carlson. And if we have any chance in this game, we have to get out of this 9th inning unscathed. We can't go down 5-3, 6-3. If we even only give up 1, we're not winning. we're not even going to tie. We have to keep it at this. And even if we keep it at 4-3, there still is a harsh reality where we may lose 4-3. But if we can find a way. And Carlson strikes out swinging. There we go, one away. Nice job by Casey Legomina. Next up, pinch hitting for Heston Kjerstad, center fielder Colton Cowser. All right, we're at 40. 10 more likes to be able to hit the goal. If it goes to extras, I think we'll get there. First pitch, high and away with the sinker, 1-0 count. And it shows you 1 to 3 runs isn't going to cut it. You have to get to 4 runs, 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And we just been stuck at this fucking 1 to 3 run number forever. And if we don't get shit turned around on that 1-1 pitch, 2 balls and 1 strike to Colton Cowser, we're going to be losing 7 out of the last 10, which is not ideal. Starting pitching has been good. Bullpen has been terrible. Hitting has been terrible. Something's got to give. 2-1 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Legomina to Cowser. When there is a will, there is a way. But it's like you got to have, more guys step up rather than just JP and, Cal, Masterboni. Obviously, Julio had an off game today, and this was the game that we needed him. 3-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Legomina to Cowser. Not sure if Bautista is warming up. They haven't panned on into the pen yet, but I would assume he is, even though he pitched yesterday. And pitch fouled off, high and away. Count still full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Legomina to Cowser. I just don't like having Legomina and Vargas playing, but, And Cowser on the 3-2 strikes out swinging, 2 away. At least this is the good version of Vargas and the good version of Legomina today, not giving up a bazillion fucking runs. All right, potentially the last batter for the O's in the 9th. Third baseman Emmanuel Rivera, who's 0 for 3. And hopefully Legomina can get him out. Let's go. 1 more out, and then hopefully we can find a way. It'll be, Rowdy, Leote, and Miles, possibly. First pitch, high and away with a 4-seam fastball, 1-0 count. .0 pitch, takes a strike looking in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike from Legomina to Rivera. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, 5 feet off the plate. I don't know what Rivera was looking at there. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. 1-2 pitch, should have been strike 3, right on the line, but we don't get the call. Fuck. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Mariners have gotten 3 or 4, balls called strikes, and Orioles have gotten a couple. I wouldn't say that this is the best officiated matchup, but it hasn't definitely been the worst. Pitch fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Legomina to Rivera. Come on, Mariners, try to ends up. You got to dig deep. Let's try to tie and try to win this game 5-4 in 10 or 11 or 12, unless we can, by a miracle, get 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th and win, but I don't see that scenario happening. I think the max that we would be able to get is 1, and then we would have to try to get 1 in the 10th, 11th, or 12th, and then try to win this game 5-4 somehow, some fucking way. Legomina on the mound, Rivera in the box. 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody on and 2 outs. Come on, Casey. Yeah, nobody is predicting the Pacers to win the series, let alone people are not predicting them to win more than 2 games, and that's at most. And Rivera doubles to left. Of course he does. The guy's fucking 0 for 3 and ends up getting a goddamn double. Jesus Christ. Look how lazy Randy is. Randy's got to be the laziest motherfucker in left field of all time. Do you understand that the game is on the line? It's like I feel like I'm watching a Little League player. First pitch in play. And Adams luckily flies out to right and we get out of the inning. Holy hell. Luckily, they end up getting a little bit too juiced up on that next batter. Randy's effort is just fucking insane. Like non-existent. Luckily, that didn't come back to bite us and we're only down 1. All right, here we go. Last chance for the Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with a K. First baseman, Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a K, right fielder Leody Taveras. And batting third, 1 for 3, third baseman Miles Mastrobuoni. So at least, with those 3 batters, they all have at least a hit. So at least that's good. And looks like Baker is coming in, so they're not bringing in Bautista. I was going to say, if Felix Bautista was coming in, we're fucked. But if they're not bringing him in since he pitched yesterday, we have a chance. So you're telling me I got a chance. Let's go, baby. All right, Mariner Moose. We don't really try to call on you, that often. But, man, these last 30 games have been really fucking rough. And, again, from averaging 6 runs a game in the first 30 to averaging 1 to 3 runs in the last 30, something's got to give. And I hope, Rowdy almost homered yesterday for us, but we didn't get any wind on that ball. Hopefully we can get something special here today. Let's go, Rowdy. All right, we're at 42. 8 more likes to get to 50, baby. Let's go. And we're at 5. 95 to go on the Dono train. And then we got the Angels game on the road in Los Angeles tomorrow around 6:30, 6:40. And then we have WWE Money in the Bank that starts at 3:30. And then the Mariner game starts at like 6:30, 6:40. So I may try to do both events on Saturday, but depending on how long Money in the Bank goes, we may not do a Mariner stream on Saturday. But if that's the case, I'll be back on Sunday to do the rubber match. It all really depends on how long that PLE goes for WWE Money in the Bank. First pitch from Baker to Rowdy Tellez. 1-0 count outside by about 5 feet. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour by Baker. 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. High and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Rowdy Tellez. And if Rowdy can get on with a walk, that would be great. 2-0 pitch. High and inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Rowdy Tellez. If you got a 3-0 count, this better not turn into an out. Just don't fucking swing. Even if he pitches a strike right down the middle, which he will, and he does. 3-1 count. Don't swing at this next one, and more than likely, this will be a walk. Otherwise, you're going to foul it off, and you're going to end up being in a 3-2 count, and you're probably going to get out. Come on, Rowdy. And we know Rowdy's got that home run power in that swing, but be smart here in these next couple pitches. Bottom of the 9th, Orioles up 4-3. We need a run. 2 to win, 1 to tie. 3 balls, 1 strike to Rowdy Tellez. Come on, Rowdy. Fucking A, he swung at it. And he's out. Fuck! One away. You don't want to waste an opportunity in a 3-0 count like that. Next up, right fielder Leody Taveras, 1 for 3 with a K. Come on, Leody. Now we just have to pray that Leody not even gets a home run, just get on base. Same thing with Miles Mastrobuoni. And Rowdy's been hitting him deep the last couple of games, but deep is not a home run. First pitch takes a strike, looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. High and away, 3 feet off the plate, 4-seam fastball by Baker. 1 ball and 1 strike from Baker to Taveras. Come on, Leody. 1-1 pitch, fouled off high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Mariners down by a run, and we only have 2 outs left here in the bottom of the 9th. Miles Mastrobuoni on deck, who's actually been pretty good in limited action for the Mariners in the last 10 to 15 games. 1-2, and there he goes. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Leody Taveras. 2 away. Oh, golly. On the brink of getting swept by the fucking Orioles, who aren't even good this year, but they are hot lately. Next up, 1 for 3. Third baseman filling in for Ben Williamson, Miles Mastroboni. And we will be live tomorrow at 6:35 Pacific for the Mariners on the road visiting the Los Angeles Angels. Hopefully we don't play down to the competition. Otherwise, this may happen to us against LA. First pitch, takes a strike looking outside of the zone. Should have been called ball, but called strike. 0-1 count. Baker on the mound, Mastroboni in the box. Call up Harry Ford already. 0-1 pitch in play, and Mastroboni gets a single. So obviously, has been able to hit a little bit better than Ben Williamson late. But now, next up is Dylan Moore, and he had 3 swings and a strikeout at his first at bat. I hope it's better here. Come on, Demo, don't let me down. I mean, if you really want to get us excited, we need Demo with a 2-run jack and a walk-off win. But I don't know what the percentages of that happening. The percentage of Demo hitting a 2-run jack for us to win might be like 1%, 1 to 5%. But I still have faith that he can get on. Come on now. First pitch to Demo, big swing and a miss. That's 4 swings and misses. 5 swings and misses. Jesus Christ, Dylan. Now behind in the count 0-2. You had 3 swings and got struck out when you first got up and pinch hit. And now you're pinch hitting again. Come on, my guy. 5 swings, 5 misses. Christ. Now behind in the count 0-2. Orioles 1 strike away from the sweep. Bottom of the 9th, Mastroboni at first with 2 outs. 4-3 Oriole lead. And that's the game. Jesus Christ. You got to be kidding me. 6 swings, 6 strikeouts. Unbelievable. End of the game. Final score, Baltimore Orioles 4, Seattle Mariners 3. Congratulations to the Orioles for completing the sweep and getting your Harry Potter brooms out and making us look silly. Unfortunate, outing for Brian Wu. Cal Raleigh tried to do the best that he could. GG to all the Orioles fans. As well as the Baltimore Oriole organization. You guys are getting better as the season is going on. Mariners hitting a wall. And again, I will be live tomorrow at 6:35 Pacific for the Mariners on the road against the Angels. And hopefully we can get back on track because things have been pretty tough as of late. Hope everyone has a fantastic Thursday. And I got one question for you. Who you know talking sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Trident's up, and I'm out. Okay.